I have wanted to do a little update on potty training Abby for a while. She is doing so good. We had a period of time where she actually regressed, and I kind of wanted to do a little background there. So Abby actually started showing interest in potty training at 19 months. I was shocked. We in no way wanted to potty train her that early. We weren't ready for it. Our son Caleb potty trained at 3 and 2 months. He was not interested at all. We didn't push him. And then when he turned 3, I kind of wanted to potty train, but he still wasn't quite ready. So at 3 and 2 months, he showed interest in potty training. He was ready. It was like the light bulb went off and he potty trained, and we just didn't have issues. We didn't really have accidents because he was ready. We wanted to take the same approach with Abby. We didn't want to push her. We wanted to wait until she was ready to potty train. At 19 months, she started sitting on the potty. She didn't like being wet or messy, so we allowed her to do that, but we kept diapers on and we didn't push her. And then that went on for a couple months, and right around her 2nd birthday, she really wanted to train. So we got underwear, we worked with her. Again, we didn't really have a lot of accidents because she wanted to do it. And then right after she turned 2, she was completely potty trained during the day. So I was like shocked because I was anticipating having basically a whole year more of a child in diapers. And she was ready. She loved her underwear. She stayed dry, so that's what we did. That all happened right before we moved. Dave accepted a new position with a company, and it caused us to move about 4.5 hours west. So we went from the suburbs of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania to the suburbs of Pittsburgh, which is a lot for a little kid. So when we moved, we lived with family friends for a couple of months, which we are so incredibly grateful for, while we looked for a house, while we had to sell our house that we had. And it's just with living in someone else's house, especially a family who has grown kids and they're looking to sell their house in a year or 2 and not replace carpets and everything, we felt it best to put her back in diapers just with any kind of accident. So having said that, we put her back in diapers, and although we continued to have her go potty and we would put the diaper back on, over those couple of months she totally went back to being in diapers, which, I mean, honestly, she was only 2 in a couple of months. I'm not concerned at all. I was totally fine with it. I thought she trained really early to begin with, so it was no big deal. Fast forward those couple of months, and then we actually rented an apartment for 1 month while we had our house closing, while we had settlement for a new house. So we still continue to keep her in diapers for that 1 month, and we decided that with settlement around the corner, we settled on our house here on October 10th. We figured give it a couple of weeks of being in the house, maybe a couple of months even, for her to really settle, feel at home again, and then maybe we would work on potty training. I mean, she's still not 3, so I'm not concerned at all. A couple weeks went by being in the house. The first thing we needed to address was getting rid of the pacifier, and we did that. It was really important to do that with Abby because she has speech delay and some communication and language problems. So that was definitely the more important issue to tackle first. And again, right before moving, we basically had it gone except at night, but then through the moving process, she kind of clung to it more. It was kind of a safety net. So we did tackle that first, kept her in diapers and tackled the pacifier, got rid of that. And then just recently, we went back to her wanting to be in underwear. Totally her choice. We didn't push her one way or the other. I had her underwear in a drawer in her room. I didn't bring it out, but she did find it. and she expressed interest in wanting to go back to being in underwear and potty training again, because again, she showed us that she was ready and we weren't pushing her one way or the other. It's been a very smooth transition. She's gone back to going potty completely on her own. Actually, she is extremely independent. She wants to do everything by herself. She wants to pull her pants down by herself. She wants to go potty and wipe herself by herself, pull her pants back up by herself. We've been in underwear now for a couple of weeks, and she's had 2 accidents total. We still diaper her at night, where we have a little potty chart because she doesn't like to be diapered at night, but it's still kind of hit or miss in the morning whether she's wet. So I let her put a sticker on her potty chart in the morning if she's dry. It's about 50% right now, but she's been staying dry during naps and dry all day, even with traveling in the car or going places like the store. She's super good about telling us when she has to go. I don't have to push her. I don't have to prod her, ask her, put her on the potty every 20 minutes like you do when you're first training a child usually. She loves it. She has done so well with potty training. I'm so impressed. I'm so proud of her, and I'm so glad that we waited until our kids were ready, because I didn't deal with the accident after accident after accident, or I didn't deal with having to change their outfit 4 times a day, or them being frustrated and crying, or me being frustrated and you know, not understanding why they're not getting it. So recommend waiting until your kid is ready. I don't care if they're 2, I don't care if they're 3. Like I said, my son was over 3, and you know, people were wondering when we were going to potty train him, and just good advice given to me was train them when they're ready. They do so much better. They want to do it. They're proud of themselves. We're proud of them, and I'm so glad I did that. Actually, with my son, once he potty trained during the day, it was like the light bulb went off. He automatically potty trained at night. It was amazing. I thought kids can be in diapers for a long time at night, especially if they're heavy sleepers. But with Caleb, we had him in diapers for about 3 weeks after he day trained, and every morning he woke up dry. And I thought, this is ridiculous. Why am I buying diapers? Took him out of it. The only times he's ever wet the bed since being potty trained has been when he's been sick, and that's not his fault. So totally was ready, potty trained. Caleb has been since about 3 and 2 months, day and night trained. Abby, like I said, she's completely day trained again. I'm so proud of her. She's only 2.5. So way sooner than Caleb. That's just because every kid is different, and she was ready. She doesn't like to be messy. She wanted to wear underwear. She was motivated. And I think that the night training is really not that far behind. Like I said, she's about 50% right now. So I think by the time she turns 3, she will be night trained as well. It's very bittersweet for me. She is my baby. I've only had 2 kids. We only want 2 kids. So we're not having any more. So even though I'm so proud of her and I love that she's in underwear, and certainly it makes life so much easier in a lot of regards when you're like traveling or you're going somewhere or you're out, you're not running out of diapers or having to change a child. It is a little bittersweet. I'm a little sad that I really don't have babies. The diapers were really the last thing to go. My kids are not in cribs. They don't have pacifiers anymore, bottles. They're eating, you know, normal people food. They're not needing baby food. And the diapers were really the last thing to go. And now I officially really have a toddler and a preschooler and no more babies in my house. So the days of being little and being in that baby phase really are numbered. They seem a little long at times when you're in the tough of it, but it flew by. I mean, I blinked and my kids are 2.5 and 4.5, and they're not babies anymore. So all in all, though, I really, potty training in our house was a breeze. With Abby, we had to do it twice, but both times it went really smoothly. With Caleb, we only had to do it once. And I highly recommend waiting until they're ready, because it really does make all the difference in the world when they are ready to train, and they get so excited. Abby loves her underwear. So happy we did it that way. That was good advice given to me from some older moms, and I wouldn't do it any differently again. So yeah, my kids are potty trained. The very last step is just the night training, and that's not really anything I can train her on. It's just something that she's gonna have to learn over time. But the training part during the day and recognizing that you have to go to the bathroom or go when you're out or in the car is there. She's got that down. So that's it. We're done. We're done potty training. And I couldn't be more proud of both of my kids.